Do you know the difference between a tantrum and a meltdown? Imagine this, your 4-year-old is misbehaving, is on the floor crying, and you think he's being a bad kid. Well, what if I told you that this is not misbehaving, but communication? One in every 6 children struggle with emotional dysregulation. That's many children. And what we do? We punish them without realizing that this video is what they need to learn. They need to learn something else. So, what is the difference between the tantrum and a meltdown? A tantrum is something that a kid starts crying because they want something. So, when you give it to them, they stop crying, and it is basically a negotiation. You give it to me, and I stop crying. Now, the meltdown is kind of the same, it's kind of the same reaction in the kid. But when you give them the chocolate, the screen, whatever he wants, they don't stop. And what's happening here is the nervous system is overloaded. It's a fire alarm. And this happens when the demand exceeds the child's capacity to respond. They cannot cope. Their brain melts. They cannot do anything. And most of us, what we think is that the child is bad, that he is misbehaving, that he is like trying to control us. And what is happening here is we start punishing them and we are very harmful to them. And what is happening to them is just a panic attack. They're having a panic attack. Imagine if you would punish someone, an adult, because they are having a panic attack. You will never do that because it is out of their control. And this is exactly what is going on with kids. Basically, the preform contracts goes offline. So it's like goes off. I cannot deal with this. I'm turning off. And the thing that what is happening is like the kid's brain is still under construction. It is actually under construction until they're 25. And what happens then is the amygdala takes control of the brain, and the amygdala is not thinking anymore. It's just like reactions. You cannot logic with the amygdala. So we need to help them co-regulate in these situations. So why does this happen? There are like different triggers that will make your kid go crazy like this. The first one is physical. Maybe they're hungry, they're exhausted, they're thirsty, they're overstimulated. You take them to a shopping mall and there are so many lights, so many loud noises, and this is a very sensitive kid and they just like cannot handle this. The second trigger is like sensory. They're bright lights, they have a scratching in their clothes. It's just like they are too hot, they are too cold, they smell something bad. It's like something annoying their senses. The third one is emotional trigger. For example, they are disappointed, angry, frustrated. They have lost at a game. They keep on losing and then something else happens. Someone tells them that they are cheating, something about emotional regulation, emotional triggers. And the last one is transition triggers. They don't want to stop the PlayStation. They don't want to do math. They don't want to stop playing with their friend. They don't want to go to school. So the key is that you, as a parent, you need to observe. You need to become a detective of your own child because each child is different. And you need to know the signs. What is happening? You can need to observe like a detective. What is happening right now in my child? For example, for my child, he will just press his fists very often, very hard, or he will just start like grunting, like grunting. And if you don't pay attention, it will become highly dysregulated, like a big meltdown. So, what do you need to do? You need to forget everything your parents told you about. You need to forget about, go to your room, do that in your room, don't bother me, come back when you're ready. Don't do that, it doesn't work. You need to help the child, you need to help your child, and you do that with helping them regulate. And how do you do that? Is you co-regulate with them. First of all, you create a calm space for them. So if you are outside, if you're in front of lots of people and everyone is looking, or if it's very, very loud, you bring them to a different location if you can. If they're like, in our case, if there are other kids around, if my husband is around, if my other kid is around, you tell them to please leave so that they give us some space. Then the next thing is your energy. You regulate yourself, because your energy is the most important thing. Imagine this is a balance. You need to be super regulated so that he can come down to you and be regulated as well. So you become their safe space, their anchor, and you co-regulate with them. You breathe with them. You bring a book. You bring something that will help them distract themselves. You don't talk to them, you give them a space, but you know you need to learn how your kid works, and you need to learn what is the best way for them to regulate with you. And don't talk to them too much. Just be there with your presence, breathing with them, saying, I'm here for you. Just going to be here. Don't worry about me. Just here. So, what is the key to avoid all these crazy meltdowns that are really very, very disruptive to your life? Well, prevention is everything. And one thing that you can do is you can create routines. Kids that are very sensitive, they may have ADHD, autism, they thrive with routines. They need to know what is coming next because their emotional dysregulation system is very sensitive as well and will very likely get dysregulated if they don't know what is happening next. They don't like surprises. They love routines, productivity, rules. Productivity, is that even a thing? Okay. They love to know what is coming next. Okay. So create routines and then co regulate with them. And when they've had a tantrum or a meltdown and it's been crazy and you're exhausted and they come to you saying, I'm so sorry, I got upset, you tell them it's okay. It's okay. You're still growing up. You're beautiful. It happens to all of us. I'm here for you. You tell them that. Don't blame them. Don't tell them anything else. Don't say anything more than, I'm here for you. Everything is good with us. I love you. That was a very hard moment, but we went through it together. It's okay. I love you. No worries. And continue with your life. Everything is good. You have to be the biggest advocate. You have to love them so much. You have to protect them so much. And it will pass. I promise you, it will pass. But only if you mirror, if you teach them the way to regulate. And how you teach them that is through example. You regulate and they look at you and they learn how to regulate. So you cannot be an anxious, dysregulated, shouting, yelling mom. That doesn't work. You have to regulate it and calm. Okay. What are the things that you shouldn't ever do? And many of these things are what parents did with us. So it's going to be very shocking for you. Well, first of all, don't say, don't stop crying. You're being too dramatic. Stop this right now. And I see this so often from other parents, and it really hurts me because you have a kid that is melting down. It's like, are you telling him, stop that right now? Which means like you're not accepting that part of himself. He always have to be regulated and calm. And I don't know, that doesn't work. I mean, sometimes we are upset. What you have to teach them is that there are ways to be upset, and there are ways that you shouldn't be upset. Like there are ways you cannot hit, you cannot throw things, you cannot do many things when you're upset, but you can be upset. That's totally acceptable. The second thing is don't punish the meltdown. Don't do that because will you punish anyone that is having this allergic reaction? Of course not. That would be crazy. That would be silly. They couldn't help it. It's the same thing with kids having meltdowns. They cannot help it. It is just happening. They cannot help it. Okay? So don't punish it because it's very unfair. Then the next thing is don't isolate them. Don't tell them, go to your room, leave me alone, come back when you're ready. Don't tell them that. They need your help to regulate. They need you next to them. Okay, don't tell them that. And don't match their energy. That's the last thing you want to do. Don't become dysregulated yourself. Because I know it's very juicy and I know it is the easiest thing to do. Say like, he's shouting, I can also shout, I can also hit, I can also do that, blah, 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 blah. What is that teaching him? That you are an adult that he cannot trust? Don't match their energy. Become the energy that you want them to have. If you want them to be calm, become calm. That's what you have to do. Do what you want them to feel. That's all you have to do. And I know it's hard. I know it's very hard. But you as a parent need to learn how to regulate, de-escalate, and help them. Okay? Your child is having a hard time. He is not giving you a hard time. Well, he is, but Just focus on the he is having a hard time, okay? And last thing I was going to say, a Harvard University study showed that children whose emotional outbursts were met with empathy rather than punishment show better emotional regulation skills, stronger parent-child bonds, and fewer behavioral problems over time. So even though your child that's maybe 8 now is showing all these emotional outbursts and dysregulation, if you meet your child with empathy, with good emotional regulation skills, your kid is going to come out really good. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine because each of the times that he explodes, you're going to be there to help him. Okay? Now, remember that meltdowns are information. What is happening? Get that information. What was the trigger? And what you have to do is after the meltdown, not during the meltdown, after the kid has calmed down, you need to ask, it seems like this triggered you. What happened? Well, my son, my brother said that. I thought it was unfair. Okay, I understand that. Okay, what can we do so it doesn't happen again? And then we can come up with the strategies together. Maybe we talk to the other kid and we say, this is not good. Or if he says this again, come to me. Or prepare an appropriate response. So each of those meltdowns are information for you to learn and information for you to come up with solutions together with your child. Okay. And again, the fact that you're watching this video tells me that you care and that you're here because you want to provide your kid with better education, regulation. You're a nurturing parent. You're an amazing mom or dad that is looking for information instead of watching The Office, whatever it is. So I want to give you another resource for you. I've created a community called Good Moms, and it's a community with moms from all over the world that just want to create calmer, more loving and beautiful homes with their kids. And we have a private Facebook group and we meet every week to talk about different parenting techniques because I don't know but I don't know if you know, but parenting training is actually has been shown to be the most effective thing you can do to raise amazing kids. So what we do is every week we have parent training calls. During like the first 15-20 minutes, I talk about a different parenting technique that you can try at home with your child. And then the rest of the call goes through Q&A or answering any questions you may have. And during the week, we have this private Facebook community where we can talk anytime, we send comments, and we have the most amazing, supportive community. And so, as a parent, no one teaches you to be a parent. And it is very hard, as you are noticing. So I created this community for you because I only wish my mom had this information. I only wish so many moms around the world had this information. The fact that we need to adapt to our children, not our children to us. The fact that we need to learn. We don't need to follow our parents' advice because many times it was wrong. And the fact that we need to pay close attention to our kids' emotions and we need to help them regulate. We need to be present parents. We need to be empathetic. We need to be calm and connected. That's what we need to do. We need to create calm in our houses and we need to connect with them with so many different things. And that's what we do in this incredible community of good moms. We have incredible resources like the Facebook community and the weekly calls. And on top of that, we have parent training courses on the platform. We have lots of amazing resources like 50 different activities to connect with your kids, how to create rules that work in the house, and so much more. So click the link below, read everything that is included in the community, and so much. You're going to love it. And then if you're interested, which I think you will be because it's really cool, I hope you are. But if you're not interested, that's okay. I mean, that's okay. Just click the link below, enter your name, email, payment information. And also just to let you know, the offer, this community is 75% off for a long time now if you sign up today. And come to the community. You're going to love it. We're going to have so much fun and talk to you very, very soon. Take care.